What's up, everybody? It's Jack and Dan. Today we're going to do a really quick update just on some of the technicalities of our big Aqua-Cave tank, the lighting, the filtration, the stand, all that kind of stuff. Check it out. All right, so what I use is I love to hang on the back filters, honestly. I have had these 110 Aqua Clears for 25 years, guys, okay? So just hang on the back. I used to have 3 of them. I still actually have the 3rd one, but here's the thing. The one in the middle was such a hassle to reach because we had this stand custom made from a retired carpenter friend of ours, and he said, hey, I'll make you guys a real high stand. When we walked through this room, this is like a kind of a living room area in the middle of the house that we walked through. We didn't want it to be low because this isn't really like a sitting room. I want it to be high. So he built us this awesome stand. It's a little higher than most stands. Well, in doing that, the problem is the filter in the middle. Yeah.
All the way back.
Yeah, I mean, I literally have to get like a ladder and everything and reach way over the tank. This is a very deep tank. It's a 220 gallon. So honestly, I got annoyed with it. I just took it off and I said, you know what? We got one on either end. And honestly, I might have to clean them a little bit more often than if I had 3, but it's really not that big of a deal. These 110s move 110 gallons. That means the whole tank gets completely circulated in an hour. It's been more than enough. It works really good. We do have a video where we show how you can buy new little shafts for those. So if the shaft starts to wear out, you can actually get a shaft for about $1 or $2. It's a little stainless steel shaft, and you can shove it in there and replace it, and it'll last another few years. So I've done that quite a few times on these, and if they crack or anything like that, I honestly just super glue them. So they're great. So I have one over here on this side, one over here on this side, and again, we have a big old 500 watt heater and a 500 watt heater. We keep this tank pretty warm. It is in the middle of the house. The thing is because there's a turtle and because we have clown loaches, we have had some issues in the past. Well, first of all, he needs to be nice and warm because he's a reptile. But because of the clown loaches especially, I've had issues in the past where they've gotten ick and I have not been able to cure it. So I keep this tank pretty warm. I keep those heaters about 82, 83 degrees. And this tank stays nice and warm and the animals seem to love it. The rope fish really like the warmth. If it is not warm, they do not swim around. So, we keep the air moving, we keep the water moving, and we keep it warm. And everybody seems to love it. We've had it that way for quite a few years now. We did a video obviously explaining the middle tank and the Aqua-Cave and everything. I'll put that in a link as well. But as far as the plants, we've got 12 pieces of bamboo in here. They do help to obviously clean the tank too. So that's the whole filtration. We do have air pumping into the Aqua-Cave, and if you see, those hang on the back filters do create some air when they kind of topple over into things, into the water there. So we've got a lot of air coming in here, no problem with anything like that. As far as the lights, we're going to kind of turn off some lights here, and we're going to kind of show you guys how we do that, how we do this whole Undergravel thing. Basically what you're looking at is underneath the tank in the stand. And when we put these glass sculptures in here, we put them down all the way to the bottom and then put the lava rock around them. That way, if we tape these little puck lights to the bottom of the tank, they shine up through all the way through the bottom of the tank into the tank. Now we have all of our tanks on timers, just a regular old timer. So the top lights are just regular old LED lights, and those are on a timer. They turn on in the evening for a few hours. This tank gets a ton of light during the day, so they really don't need to be on during the day. Now, as far as the Undergravel lights that shine up through these light fixtures, those are on a separate timer, and those turn on before and after the other lights. They turn on before and turn off after. And what they do is they give a little bit more like ambiance, and it's really inexpensive. Those puck lights are just a few dollars a piece, honestly, if you buy a bunch of them at a time, and they're really easy to do. This is a laser light that, if you haven't seen our laser light videos, we emailed the guys from Tanked, from ATM, when we got this Aqua-Cave done, and they thought it was such a cool thing, they sent us a bunch of these laser lights. And they said, hey, check them out, experiment with them a little bit. So we had one inside the tank before, and now we just kind of have it outside the tank, so at night, that little blue light along the base there just kind of stays on all the time. The cool part is, here, Jack's going to take over here the camera so I can show you. We then got a remote. Let me get the remote here. All those little puck lights are on a little remote. So if I'm anywhere around this tank, basically, if you look here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the override off, turn these big top lights off, because they all are still on a switch, even though they're on timers. So now you're not going to be able to see me, but if you take a good look at the tank, kind of back up so you can see the tank real good, if I turn those off, you can see this is what it looks like. So we always kind of have this little blue strip at night, just kind of a little moonlight kind of thing, just so, you know, that the turtles aren't too, turtle and fish aren't too freaked out or anything, you know, if something happens or somebody moves. Now this is just the white light all the way up. We can also turn it down like this, or anywhere in between. We can kind of gradually raise it up like that, and we can also change the color of it. We can make it blue, which I usually do because then that matches the laser light.
And the electric motion.
Yeah, kind of back up so they can see the whole tank. There you go. Yeah, it matches the electric blue cichlids. It matches a... So that's one of my favorites, one of Jack's favorites. We can also make them green. If we got holidays like Halloween and that, or Christmas, we can make them red. And then they match the heater lights. And so we'll kind of have the colors change around. You can also put it on the changing, where it just automatically kind of runs through them all. And that's one of our favorites. So it'll just kind of go through a whole rainbow of colors. You know, it'll go yellow, then green, then clear, white, and then blue. So sometimes we just leave it on that, and it just kind of changes all that. So that's pretty neat. But yeah, honestly, I'll turn the big lights on again here so you can see. Honestly, it's just it just gives us a lot of different ideas. I'll turn this big light on too so you can see me. The reason that we did this is because this kind of thing is so inexpensive. You could buy these kits with the remote and LEDs for 20 bucks and get like 5 or 6 lights. We bought several kits. We have some on Jack's tanks. We have some on the big tank here. But it just kind of gives you really an added extra effect. And especially if you go through these color changing things, I mean, the fish kind of doesn't seem to bother them in any way, shape, or form. And it just gives you a great idea of ways that you can change the color of your tank and the ambiance, whether it's a holiday, whether it's just a regular day or whatever. So, yeah, I mean, just regular LED strips on top, nothing big. They're on a timer. We think it lights up the tank good, but it's also kind of nice to just have the Undergravel lights on. So if you've never experimented with doing stuff under gravel, it's real simple, just like I showed you. Just put some glass sculptures down, move the gravel or sand or lava rock out of the way, tape some lights to the bottom. You can have them on a remote or a timer or both, like we do. And it's kind of cool. They turn on first thing in the morning when we wake up so that the fish get introduced to a little bit of light. And then that way they're not scared when we go in the kitchen and start making breakfast and stuff like that. It's kind of dark, especially in the wintertime. So these little Undergravel lights turn on, and then they're kind of waking up. It's almost like a little alarm clock. We actually did a video on that. We called it an alarm clock for our fish. So I'll put a link in the description as well. But yeah, I mean, lighting is a big thing, and a lot of people spend a lot of money on lighting. Honestly, you just don't have to. These kind of things are really inexpensive and really easy to find. People buy them for like their under cabinet kitchen designs and all that. They're super cheap. I think I got these from HomeDepot.com, and again, they were 20 bucks for a set of 4. I got 12 of them for 60 bucks. I mean, that's pretty cheap. And lit up the whole bottom of a big, huge 220-gallon tank for 60 bucks. And we've had these for a few years, and they've been lasting forever. No problems, no nothing. So, Yeah, so just some ideas there. Definitely check out some of our other videos. We're going to go ahead and do the third series in this big tank that we've been working on. And we're going to feed these guys now. So check out, make sure you hit subscribe, make sure you hit the bell for future notifications. Next week, we're going to toss our food in here and record a meeting for a few minutes and see how that all looks, because that's pretty fun. We'll see you next time, guys.